Hello, second graders. This is Mrs. McCown, and today we are going over Lesson 28, Understanding Halves, Thirds, and Fourths in Shapes. Today, I have a special guest, Mr. McCown, who's going to help us with this lesson.
Hey kids, today we're going to talk about fractions, and fractions are simply parts of a whole. And specifically, we're going to talk about halves, thirds, and fourths. And you are probably familiar with these shapes of you've eaten a sandwich or eaten pizza, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So if we've got a sandwich, okay, or a pizza or whatever, and we cut it into two equal parts, okay, each of those equal parts is going to be a half. And so this is probably what you're most familiar with. And with a pizza type of shape or a round shape, okay, two equal parts is going to be pretty easy. If we take one of these halves and we cut it into two equal parts, we now have four equal parts, and this is going to be a fourth. So if we have our half, 2 fourths are going to equal a half. 4 fourths are going to equal a whole. Okay, what if we have a different shaped sandwich and we have a square? Well, there's a couple different ways that we could cut this sandwich in half. Okay, we could cut this sandwich in half this way. What other way could we cut it in half? We could also cut it in half this way. Okay, and each of those would also be a half. Remember, as long as the parts are the same size, okay, you can make a half or a third or a fourth, sometimes in different ways, as long as they're all the same size. So I'm going to cut this one into halves. Okay, remember a half is two equal parts. If we cut each half in half, we're going to have fourths. Okay, so let's look at this. We've got a fourth of this one, and we've got a fourth of this one. Okay, so parts of the whole don't always have to be the same size. Both of these are fourths, but it looks like to me that this one is a little bit bigger than this one. So remember, they're just parts of the whole, not necessarily the same size. So that's halves and fourths. Let's take a look at what happens in thirds. So in thirds, we need to cut this sandwich into 3 equal pieces. So we'll go there, and we'll go there. So we've got one whole sandwich cut into 3 equal pieces. So each one of these pieces is going to be a third of a sandwich. Okay, with your round sandwich, it's a little bit more difficult to make a third. We'll try it here. Okay, so we've got 3 equal parts, and that is what a third is going to look like with a round shape. So you've got some activities here for you to make, some halves, thirds, and fourths, and then answer some questions concerning those. So hope you had fun with the video, and remember that a fraction is just a part of a whole, the whole divided into different numbers of equal parts.